What's going on YouTube? It is Chris from Out West with Chris, and I'm here to do another BattlBox unboxing. This is mission 29 from BattlBox, and I pretty much know what's in here. Yesterday I was driving home from Washington State all the way to California. It was a 12-hour trip, so I watched a couple reviews. And I already kind of have an opinion formed on some of these items, which could be good, could be bad, and could change once I get my own hands on them. I'm kind of glad that I watched a few of those, just to kind of get some background on some of the gear. So I watched 3 of the unboxing videos. The one from Drop Forge Survival, he had some good information. My buddy Gray Fox over at Skallywag Tactical, and then also I watched the official unboxing video. I left last week for Washington. I've been camping out in the forest, testing some gear, putting some stuff to use, actually using gear. I think the box arrived the day I left, later on in the day. So kind of bummed I didn't get it up very early, but hey, it is what it is. So before we get too far into the weeds, when I heard kind of the idea behind this a few months ago, I was a little bit scared. The term that was floated to me was Patriot Box. Not really the theme, but when that was floated to me, I was like, oh my gosh, I hope it's not like Alpha Outpost's Patriot Box last July. That was a freaking disaster. I'll link that video in the description down below if you want to see what other subscription boxes put out there for Patriot boxes. Anyways, turns out that's not at all what it is. It's something totally different, and it's not really survival and tactical gear. So we'll just put that disclaimer right out front. Some of the stuff, I mean, in a pinch you could use it, and I might talk about that when we get to individual items. I might not. But what each item is, which I think is really cool, and something that I think it's pretty awesome that BattlBox did this, is each item is from a veteran owned or operated company, and I believe each item is also made in the USA. And if you're gonna do a Patriot Box, I mean, that's the way to do it, right? I think that that's really cool. I also think it's really cool that a portion of the proceeds from this month go to the Just One kind of thing that BattlBox has going on, that Daniel Dabbs, the CEO of BattlBox, thought up, of supporting just one veteran at a time. Can really support the theme, the idea behind this box. Now, whether or not I'm going to enjoy individual items in here, that's a totally different thing. And I think the elephant in the room is that, is it really survival and tactical? And I think that that's been an issue for people for a while. It says survival and tactical gear delivered monthly right on the box. So I can understand where some folks might be a little bit perturbed, I guess you'd say, because it's not really survival and tactical gear from what I can tell. But hey, you know what? Let's just open it up. I'm gonna give you my thoughts on each individual item and then my thoughts on the box as a whole. And if I can see some ways that some of the stuff can be used as survival or tactical gear, I will definitely let you know. One other thing that I think it's important to point out is I do not pay for this box. I paid for this box for about 1.5 years. Happily paid for this box for about 1.5 years. And I would still be paying for this box if it wasn't for a few of my vocal subscribers, who I really appreciate. All right, let's take a look. The sitrep is American AF, American as fuck, so that's cool. It is operator owned, mission 29. The overall value of the box is $426.92 with a cost of $159 for the Pro Plus. And one thing to point out, if it's made in America, it's going to be more expensive. So first up in the box is from Warfighter Tobacco. This is a cigar, a $9 value, and that's about the average price for a medium range to above average cigar. I do not have a humidor, so I'll probably smoke this on my next camping trip. I don't smoke cigars a lot. If you're looking for somebody who does smoke cigars a lot, that knows about it, and can give you a good take on what this cigar is, I suggest you look for Southern Gunner for that YouTube channel or that Instagram page profile, Southern Gunner. I'll have links in the description down below. He is an avid cigar fan, so I'm actually really interested in his take on this Warfighter Tobacco BattlBox edition. So this actually could be considered a survival item because tobacco does have some medicinal properties, and you can also barter. People are gonna have huge nicotine addiction when shit hits the fan, and you could probably barter something like this for a bunch of bullets or a bunch of beans. So keep that in mind. All right, next up is right here. Kind of excited about this. I'm a fan of this company. Personally, I'm a fan of this company. How it fits into survival and tactical, who knows? But yeah, damn, this is a nice mug. This is from Black Rifle Coffee Company. It's the Coffee or Die coffee mug. And I'm really looking forward to drinking a nice cup of coffee in this. And I'll probably do that this weekend and film a Let's Chat video. I think that would be a good idea. The cost on this is $13. Next up, Black Rifle Coffee Company, just black. We have received Black Rifle Coffee Company coffee in previous battle boxes, I do believe. And I'm a big fan of Black Rifle Coffee Company. I think that they make great coffees. I'm also a big fan of them because a portion of their profits do go to support Second Amendment causes. So if you're gonna spend your money on premium coffee, why buy Starbucks when you could buy Black Rifle Coffee Company? And this is not a sampler pack. This is a full bag, pre-ground, 12 ounces, and it's the just black, so that's cool. $13 value, I'm all for it. Coffee also does have some medicinal uses, and you could barter this stuff all day long for bullets and beans. The next one, I don't really know anything about this company, but it is from Strikeforce, and these are beverage enhancers, so I guess they're little powders that turn water into an energy drink. They have caffeine, B vitamins, taurine, potassium, no calories, no sugar. So you dump this into like a plastic water bottle, shake it up, and you have an energy drink. I am not one that drinks a lot of energy drinks. I actually don't drink them at all. I do drink caffeine. I don't really like how I feel. I feel really jittery when I drink them. So I just don't drink them. I'll give these a try. Yeah. Anyways, this is a $4 value. It's a 4 sampler pack. Got 4 different flavors. Interesting. So I'll try it out. We'll see what I think about it. Next up, ND999 Never Dry lubricant. Made in the USA, as is everything else. The owner of this company actually sent me a message earlier today, and he is a disabled veteran. It sounds like this stuff is actually pretty cool. It is a tiny little bottle, but if what he says is true, then you don't really need a whole lot. He's basically saying one little drop is going to last a long time, and it's going to give you good coverage. Good for lubricant. You can also use it as just a general CLP. The value on this is $4.99. One of the cool things about it is medical grade, food safe. So you could use this on knives, kitchen knives, or your pocket knives, any of your knives. You could do it for that. You could do it for medical utensils. You could use this for a lot of different stuff to clean and protect them. So pretty interesting. I might try this out on a few knives. Once again, $4.99 value. I can get behind this, and this is survival tactical. I mean, that's pretty apparent, right? All right, the next thing up I'm excited about. This is the Doc Spartan Combat Ready Ointment, and this is an ointment that smells really good. It has eucalyptus in it. I know that. It works great on rips, cuts, scrapes, scars, burns, rashes, tattoos, and much more. I actually have a couple of mosquito bites that I want to test it out on right now. Man, the fine print on this is really fine. Refined coconut oil, beeswax, almond oil, vitamin E, lavender, and eucalyptus essential oils, tea tree oil. So I have a couple of mosquito bites. I got one. Where'd they go? It's right here. I'm going to put that on and see if it can make some of the itch go away. I also have some really dry elbows, so let's see if it works on dry skin. I also have a mosquito bite right over here. Man, it smells really good, actually. So we'll see how that does, see if it can take some of the itch away. Pretty excited about that. That is a $9.99 value. That's something that, you know, can go into an inch bob, camping gear, first aid kit, you know, just all sorts of different supplies. So definitely survival tactical. That wraps up your basic box, $24.99, and it's a $63.94 value. And I think the basic box did pretty damn good. So let's move on to advanced, $49.99. It is a $111 value, and there are 2 items in here. The first one is a $20 1999 item, and it's range 15. So this is starring Matt Best, and I think Matt Best is hilarious. I love the videos he puts out on YouTube and Facebook. It seems like recently he's been doing some fairly serious videos too, and I kind of appreciate that. It's a nice little change of pace. I can appreciate the humor. It's kind of military humor, even though I wasn't in the military. I think that that type of humor, it's pretty raunchy, but it's funny for me. This is a $20 value. I'm glad that something from Art 15 was in here. I would almost prefer that it was a piece of apparel though. Ranger Up was also involved with this, so you know, those are companies that I like. They're companies that, you know, I'm fine supporting. You know, this really isn't, it's not really gonna teach me anything. I guess it's good to have a few laughs here and there. I really don't know the purpose of this in the box other than to have something from those companies in the box. I would have almost rather have had, you know, maybe the guys involved in those companies talk about some of their experiences in the military, some of the lessons they learned, something like that, something that I could take something from. Now, I can get enjoyment out of this. I will watch it. I will probably laugh my ass off. But would I have went and paid 20 bucks for it? Probably not. Next up, something that I'm pretty excited to check out is this mesh cap. There are 2 varieties of this mesh cap out there, and I got the 1 flag version. Another version has a flag on the side. This is American-made multi-cam mesh back patch hat. The hook and loop section isn't just like a single color. It's actually got the flag sewn into it, which I think is awesome. This is a great idea. I like this style of mesh as well. And you can put a patch on there. Like I have this hat. I could put that patch on there just like that. Oh, that feels pretty good. It's a pretty comfy hat. Yeah, I like this hat. Or I can just roll without it because of the flag that's built into it. I think that's really cool. So you don't have to have a morale patch right there. You can if you want. So that is your advanced box. Pretty cool. And that multicam mesh back patch hat, $27.99. And I buy that. You know, that is really accurate. These hats like this, hats in general are not cheap to make. And that type of hook and loop style of thing, you know, that's just not your standard thing. It's gonna take some time to sew in. Pretty cool. I like that it's just a multi-cam with an American flag. Freaking awesome. Thank you, BattlBox. Really like this hat. Okay, the Pro. The Pro has 1 item, and I'm pretty excited about this. I've talked to a few people about it who've already got their boxes. One being a good friend of mine who I hunt with, and he really likes the watch. This is the Rockwell Coliseum, and it is the Raider Project watch. And a portion of the sales go to the Raider Project, which supports Marine Special Forces guys coming back to the States. So that's a cause that I could get behind. Really cool. The Raider Project is pretty cool. I'll have a link to them in the description down below where you can go learn more about the Raider Project. You know, maybe buy a t-shirt. I've been thinking about buying a t-shirt myself, so pretty cool. Just at first glance, it looks like a pretty nice watch. I'm gonna have to go through and program it, learn about it, but I'm sure it has multi-functions. It has a really kind of a light indigo, whatever, backlight, timers, alarms, all sorts of stuff. I'm gonna have to mess with this. Let's see how it feels. I'm not really a watch guy. I do have a few watches and I will wear them occasionally. I don't know why I'm not a watch guy, but I might actually start wearing this watch. It's pretty cool looking. It has the cupped face, and that is to help prevent against scratches for those of us who are really active. You know, it's a recessed face. It's got that lip around here, which will help reduce the likelihood of scratches. If you know, are out working with this on, you can pretty much guarantee you're gonna get a scratch. But nice looking watch. I like that it has the Raider Project logo on it. That's cool. Proud to rep that. That's awesome. The watch itself is $150 value. I mean, with the watch alone, you paid for your Pro Blocks. So that's pretty cool. Okay. Whew. Okay. So the next item is from Skallywag Tactical. This is your knife of the month for Pro Plus. And this has a value of $155. Let's take a look. Comes with a Kydex sheath, a pretty basic Kydex sheath. And lots of packing oil on it. I'm going to have to get that clean really quick. All right, took a little break and started playing with this a little bit to kind of get an idea of it, cleaned it off, and I don't know. I actually took this out back and started throwing it against my fence to see if it would work as a throwing knife, but it's really not weighted correctly as a throwing knife. The handle and the body are made from 440C stainless. It's got a titanium coating on it. It is 7.8 inches and it has a Kydex sheath. Now, it is not sharpened on the sides. A lot of folks initially thought that that might be because there are a lot of shipping laws and knife laws on blades that are sharp on both sides. I believe it is illegal in California to have a blade that is sharpened on two sides. So for whatever it's worth, I think that it's like that actually in a lot of states. So check your local laws before you go reprofile this bad boy. This is supposed to be a dagger, but I don't think that's really what it is. And one of the big things I took from Drop Forge Survival's video, which, you know, go watch that as well, was that this was more made to be a spiking tool than a dagger. I do have some personal experience with this type of tool. I'm not going to really call it a knife. But this type of tool, in that about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I was researching a close combat style knife for fighting with, right? Like a fighting knife. And basically your options for that type of knife are a karambit and a dagger. And I went with a dagger. I actually thought, being that I'm not super skilled in that type of fighting, I had a lower likelihood of actually cutting myself in a fight with a dagger than I did with a karambit. A karambit just has that really aggressive forward sweeping talon style blade, and a dagger doesn't. So I went out and bought a different dagger, which I'm going to do a side-by-side review of that dagger and this in an upcoming video, so be sure to subscribe. What this actually is this is a spike. It is a piercing tool, and it is extremely sharp on the tip. The sides are not. So it's not really a dagger, and I don't think it was meant to be. It is meant to pierce. And from what I have gathered through other people's videos and some posts on the BattlBox forums, is that that's how it was intended. It's only intended to be a piercing tool. So whether you're holding it like this and piercing in a fight, it's not intended for slicing. it is intended for piercing, just stabbing, piercing movements. So it has very limited functionality. Is this something that I would carry every day? Probably not. And for that reason and that reason alone, I'm not too thrilled with this as the knife of the month. It's interesting. It looks sexy. It's a company that I'd really like to support. In fact, I'm going to check out what other offerings they have. But for what this is, I just don't see practicality when you can actually get something that can slice and stab. I don't know. For what it is, I think it'd actually work pretty well. You could really do some damage just stabbing, piercing movements with this. You could kill somebody with this pretty easily. So is it a deadly tool? Of course. Is it very practical? Not for me. I'd rather be able to have some slicing action on it as well. And this, it's just not gonna cut anything. Here I go. It left a little bit of a mark, but it didn't break skin at all. So, the tip is extremely sharp, don't get me wrong, but there's no sharpness whatsoever. And from what I can understand, that's the way it was designed. So I think that there's going to be a lot of fired up people after receiving this box. I think if you got the basic box, you should be pretty happy. You got some good stuff. I'm kind of conflicted here, guys. So just follow me. This could be a tangential conversation. I'm conflicted because I think that they could have gone a lot of different directions with this box and still put veteran-owned and US-made products in here. There are a ton of veteran-owned companies out there that are making survival products. In a way, I almost feel like this is a swag box for the veteran community. And don't get me wrong, I know that Ranger Up, Art 15, BRCC, Lead Slingers, Warfighter, Tobacco, they all play a really big role actually in our culture. I follow a lot of these, companies on Instagram and Facebook and stuff like that, and I get a kick out of their videos. I think that Matt Best is hilarious, and I know I'm gonna laugh when I watch that DVD. So I see the importance and the impact that they play, especially in our community. Most of us are fairly conservative. We're survivalists, preppers, outdoorsmen, that type of thing. And so we resonate with a lot of these guys and their companies and their beliefs, okay? So they play a huge cultural role in our society. So featuring them makes sense. But at the same time, being that BattlBox is a survival and tactical gear box delivered monthly, I think that they could have also offered stuff from other veterans. I am still a huge fan of BattlBox and a huge fan of what Daniel Dabbs, the CEO, is doing with the Just One project. I would have gladly paid $150, even though I'm not a big fan of this particular knife of the month. Would have gladly paid it to get this watch and all of this other stuff. So, like I said before, kind of conflicted on this. I think you guys know where I'm at though. If you don't, leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think. I'm really interested in what you guys think about my take on this box. I'm really interested in your take on this box. I don't really want the comment section to become a BattlBox bashing event. It's not really what it's for. Tell me your take though. If you can appreciate my point of view on this video and the items in the box, go ahead and click that thumbs up button. If you want to see more, like the side-by-side review of the Skallywag Tactical dagger and the other dagger that I have, go ahead and click that subscribe button. Got a ton of new videos coming out here shortly. I guess that's all I have to say. I'm gonna drink my 805 and go edit this video. Thanks for watching, and thanks for getting out west with Chris.
That's a beat drop.